Well, Hollywood may be hitting a new low in the 2016 race. A-list actor Will Smith appearing to call for the country to purge itself of Donald Trump's supporters, or at least of their ideas. Listen to what the Suicide Squad star told reporters during a press conference overseas.
As painful as it is to hear Donald Trump talk, and as embarrassing it is as an American to hear him talk, I think it's good. We get to hear it, we get to know who people are, and now we get to cleanse it out of our country.
This comes as fellow actor and outnumbered alum Antonio Sabato Jr. says he's been
that wasn't Geraldo for the record.
He's been attacked viciously, and he says he's been blacklisted in Hollywood after his speech at the Republican convention. Listen.
When I got back from the RNC in Cleveland, I had some jobs lined up, and I investigated why those jobs weren't there anymore, and apparently it was because my support for Mr. Trump.
I feel like I want Gillian to go to you first on this one. So going back to Will Smith's comments first, we'll get to Antonio Sabato Jr. in a second. But Will Smith, he's embarrassed to be American because of the things that Donald Trump has been saying.
Here's the thing. This is not to defend what Will Smith said, because that's not my job. He can say whatever he wants. He's a Hollywood actor. He's not accountable to the American people. He doesn't have to be politically correct. He doesn't have to, as somebody like Donald Trump say, have to mind what he says. There's absolutely no responsibility whatsoever. So the idea that kind of actors mouth off about political candidates is not a new story. I don't really know why we're giving it time, to be honest.
But painful and embarrassing. Did he go too far with that, Geraldo?
You know, I kind of agree with Gillian on this. I don't take it as being a very weighty pronunciation. I think cleanse is an interesting word. Why use that word? Is this like a religious
But so going back to that, he says that the country needs to cleanse itself of Donald Trump's supporters. He's going after the supporters.
I spent 2 weeks in Europe 2-3 weeks ago, and I got to tell you, when people talk about U.S. politics, they talk about it in a way that they roll their eyes and what the hell's going on over there.
So Kennedy, as someone who has been in Hollywood herself, you know these people, you know the way they are. Antonio Sabato Jr., he made that speech at the RNC, and now he says he's blacklisted.
That doesn't surprise me, and he knows that going into it. He knows full well. He's been around long enough that he knows if he puts his neck out there, not only for conservative causes, but for the most mercurial Republicans who ever run for the presidency, arguably, that there are going to be professional consequences for him. And, you know, it takes a good deal of bravery for someone like that to put themselves out there. I don't think he should necessarily be surprised. I'm not surprised. I mean, I've seen it happen over and over again, and that's why Republicans in Hollywood have secret meetings. They don't advertise them. They meet among themselves and discuss.
We've had some of them sit right here on this couch and tell us that.
And they will deny the
And they have secret handshakes?
Elizabeth used to talk about that all the time before she left, even in television, which is different from Hollywood. You know, even working here in New York, she had that experience.
I mean, I think there's a lot of that going on everywhere. I mean, you talk to people all the time who say they're trashing Trump, and then they're saying, I'm embarrassed and I'm not going to tell anyone that I'm voting for him. And you're like, wait, what?
Oh,
wait, what?
That definitely happens.
I mean, they're going to still vote for him, but they're...
Okay, but here's the difference with Will Smith. Like, if Whoopi Goldberg says that she's going to leave it, if Samuel Jackson, you know, if Miley Cyrus says that she's going to move to Canada or New Zealand, it's like, go ahead, but don't say that you're going to purge or cleanse the country, you know, for people who have left other places on earth where certain ethnicities have been purged and cleansed, or people who disagree with those in power have been purged and cleansed. It's kind of a dangerous thing to say.
Well, Melissa, as someone who's also been in Hollywood yourself, you know the way this industry works. Here's Will Smith saying that he's embarrassed to be an American because of things Trump's are saying, but yet his own industry won't even give a job to a conservative or somebody like Antonio Sabato Jr. who speaks out politically.
No, the irony is thick, because they're, you know, talking about how Trump isn't tolerant, and then they're being intolerant of people who support him. So there's a ton of irony in there. At the same time, I think it's absolutely true. You know, if you're in Hollywood, you cannot not raise your hand for anything, you know, right of far left, or you're definitely going to get retribution. So without question, I mean, people say that all the time. I have friends who are producers, who are directors, who they would never speak up. It's not just Trump.
But that's their right, though. There is no constitutional right to get a job in Hollywood if you're a conservative or a liberal or this or that.
What if you're
it's
a woman?
Private industry. Well, for women it's different. If it's gender discrimination or sexual harassment and all the rest of that kind of stuff, then it's actionable. But it's not actionable to say that I'm a conservative and the liberals won't hire me. They are not legally required to hire you. It's not a government agency. It's an industry, and people are able to hire anybody they want as long as they comply with
I think we give too much clout to what Hollywood actors say about politics.
Who cares about it? I mean,
are they going to change any votes?
When Russell Crowe speaks,
probably,
you really say, oh, I'm going to write that down.
Maybe you'll care about... Chicks can eat a bag of Dixie as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, my God. We'll leave it there.